Hey everyone, this is Sportsman Pariente. I know it's been a while, but I felt compelled to make this video in light of the ridiculous event that took place last night at in the ninth inning of the Mets-Cubs game. Now, the Mets did win the game and the series, and they've been one of the hottest teams in June. But what took place as Edwin Diaz was about to come into the game, and then the umpires, as they do every time a pitcher comes in, they check his glove, his hand, all that. And then the umpire, Vic Carapazza, decides that Edwin Diaz, there was too much sticky stuff on his hand, and he throws him out of the game, which basically now means that Edwin Diaz is suspended for 10 games. Now the Mets don't have a closer for the next 2 weeks because we had to rush Drew Smith into the game because Diaz got thrown out. Now he's hurt. No Brooks Raley. So now the Mets bullpen is literally short-staffed for the next 10 games. Now, after the game, Diaz talked about what happened and said, "I was using dirt and rosin as I've done the whole time when this has been going on with the new rule where the pitchers get checked for the sticky stuff going back to 2023. And maybe more so 2021 when they got rid of spider tack and all that stuff." Yet, so according to Vic Carapazza, no, I felt the hand, it was not rosin, it was some other sticky substance. Great. Except that if Edwin Diaz was using an illegal substance, as Vic Carapazza claims, A, you did not confiscate his glove, you let him walk off with the glove, which means that there was no foreign substance on his glove. That's number one. B, as Diaz said after the game, he was simply using rosin, which is a legal substance, people. It is legal. Mendoza said the same thing. Okay, yeah, maybe the rules are rules, but he was using rosin. But what really just blows my mind with Major League Baseball and this arbitrary nonsense of a rule. So the umpires checked his glove, then checked Diaz's hand. Oh, there was too much sticky stuff. Okay. Yeah, he was thrown out of the game. What's ironic is a year ago when Bailey Ober was found to have, there was too much sticky stuff on his hand. Was he thrown out of the game? No, he was not. The umpire said, you can go wash it off. Just go wash it off. Same thing with Domingo Germán last year. It's too much sticky stuff. You can go wash it off. But not Diaz? Not Max Scherzer last year? Because he wasn't allowed to wash it off either. It was, no, gotta go, too much sticky stuff. Are you kidding me? What is this, rules for thee but not for me? Can someone please explain to me how 3 Met pitchers get kicked out for sticky stuff? They're not allowed to wash their hands, but Bailey Ober is allowed? Germán is allowed? Clark Schmidt's allowed? They're allowed to wash their hands? They're allowed to wash their hands, but Edwin Diaz, nope. He's gotta go. Max Scherzer, gotta go. Drew Smith, gotta go. Is this a joke? Is baseball so angry that Steve Cohen, who's actually competent, is owning the Mets? Is this because 2 years ago when Joe Musgrove had God knows what on his ear and God knows what on his face, when Buck Showalter sent the umpires out, you might want to check this, was Major League Baseball so embarrassed by that they've just decided to screw the Mets? Because that's what it looks like to me as a Mets fan. There is no way you can throw Edwin Diaz out of that game and not allow him to wash his hands like Ober, Germán, or Schmidt. No way. I hope Edwin Diaz appeals this decision because it is BS that this is going on in Major League Baseball, and I am embarrassed that the Mets are going to be short-staffed now because of this nonsense of this rule, which can't actually be, applied properly since there's no actual way to check what substance he was using. Vic Carapazza, can you tell us what substance he was using, or no? We're just gonna guess. We're just gonna guess, and he'll just be suspended 10 games. I am at a loss for words right now, and it's embarrassing that in 2024 we're having this conversation about what pitchers can use and what they can't to throw a baseball. And the other thing that really gets me about all this is that Major League Baseball will sit there and say, well, the umpires, this is a decision that they make on the field. We have no control over this. You have no control over this. Really. Really. Yet, for some reason, you say you have no control over this, yet you put this rule in place where if you get caught with a sticky substance, you get thrown out for 10 games, and there's very little chance you can actually appeal this because it's a judgment call by the umpires. Okay. Now, mind you, the other thing which really is bizarre to me is that Diaz has been using rosin, dirt for grip pretty much since he came back from the IL. Yet you didn't find him using a sticky substance then, but all of a sudden yesterday, there's a sticky substance. We don't know what this is. He's got to go. So the other 3 times when he was pitching, he wasn't using it, but now all of a sudden he is. Really? I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but come on, please. No way. There is no way. So I don't know what these major league umpires are doing, what their judgment is on what sticky stuff is, but there needs to be a clear pattern here because you cannot suspend Diaz, Scherzer, and Smith and basically throw them out for using their hands were too sticky. Yet you allow Bailey Ober, he can go wash his hands. Schmidt can go wash his hands. Domingo Germán, you can go wash your hands. Why aren't the Met pitchers allowed that privilege? Can someone tell me? Major League Baseball, can you explain this? Or no, we're just going to throw our hands up in the air and say, we don't know what's going on. I'm trying to be really careful with what I say so I don't get, so I really don't have people come after me or get slapped with a strike or anything. But it's beyond me that Major League Baseball is allowing this rule, which can really damage a team if you think about it, because last year when Scherzer got suspended for 10 games, it pretty much killed whatever momentum the Mets had last year and played a role in it. Diaz is just coming off the IL, starting to get back on track, and Allison, now you're gone 10 games. And now the Mets, as I said earlier, no Diaz for basically 2 weeks. No Brooks Raley for the whole year because he had to have arm surgery. Drew Smith might be banged up because we had to rush him into the game yesterday. I mean, and basically because Diaz is suspended, you can't replace him on the roster, so now the Mets are going to be basically shorthanded for 10 games. And all these people saying, Edwin Diaz was cheating, he was using a foreign substance. Can you tell me what substance he was using? Because rosin is not a foreign substance, people, it is not. So unless someone can tell me what Diaz was using, he's being suspended, because he put too much rosin on his hand? Please, stop. Stop. Major League Baseball should be embarrassed by this, and I hope Edwin Diaz appeals this decision. I hope to God someone in the Major League Baseball office steps up and says this rule needs to be changed or altered right now. Because it is not right that a team can get screwed like this by a rule that is just so arbitrarily applied. Anyway, that's my take on what happened last night. Please continue to subscribe to my channels on YouTube, and I'm pray to God that the Mets can continue the good times they've had, keep the momentum going, and let's use this as fuel to get back at Major League Baseball.